prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciates. Mataji, how do you pronounce that?
Hare Krishna Mataji, the class hasn't started yet.
Okay.
Can you wait for the announcement to be made first? Thank you, Hare Krishna.
No, I'm just practicing. Okay, I can practice in my mind. Mataji, in first paragraph, can you pronounce that word?
Yes. Renunciation.
Just wait a minute, please, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay.
Mataji, all she's asking for, because she's practicing Mataji, so she's just asking how do you say the word Mataji. She's not going to start reading Mataji.
Is a renunciation, isn't it, Mataji?
Renunciation. The word is called renunciation, Mataji.
Renunciations.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. It's okay.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So this evening's reciters are, we have Jagruti Mataji reading in English and Hemlata Mataji in Sanskrit, reading from Canto 3, Chapter 29, verses 16 to 30. And at 8:40, we'll be having a bhajan by myself. And the English translation will be by Namrata Mataji. So Hemlata Mataji, when you're ready,
Hare
could
Krishna Mataji.
you please start with the invocation?
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate 3 times, please. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam to everyone.
And Mataji, I'm reading, yeah? English one. Yes?
Hare Krishna, Jagruti Mataji, please let Hemlata Mataji read the Sanskrit first and then you read the English.
Okay, that's
Thank
fine.
you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Madrishna darshana sparsha puja stuti abhinandanai bhuteshu mad bhavanaya sattve angamena cha.
The devotee should regularly see my status in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia
Mataji, the word is paraphernalia.
And prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation.
The word is renunciation.
From the mode of godness, and see every living entity as spiritual. Thank you, Mataji.
Mahatma bahumanena dīnānāmanukampaya maitreya chaivatmatuleshu yamena niyamena cha.
The pure devotee should execute a devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the Aquarius. We
So,
should be
Mataji, the word is acharyas,
Acharyas. Thank you, Mataji, correcting me. I'm so sorry. Acharyas. He should be compis,
compassionate,
com, compassionate, compassionate to the poor and make friendship with person who are the equals, but all his activities should be execute, executed under regulation and with the control of the sense. Thank you, Krishna.
आध्यात्मिका अनुश्रवेण नाम संकीर्तना च मे अर्जावनेर्या संगेन निरहंकार क्रियया तथा.
A devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His behavior should always be straightforward and simple, and although he is not envious,
Mataji, the word is
envious but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the com- company of a person who are not spiritually advanced. Hare Krishna.
मद्धर्मो गुणैरेतहि परिसमुद्धास्यः पुरुषायेन जाभेति श्रुतमन्त्रगुणं हिमाम्.
When one is fully qualified with all these trans, trans, transcendental
transcendental
transcendental um, attributes attributes and his consciousness in the is those completely purified purified, he is immediately attract simply by hearing my name or hearing of a trans, trans transcendental quality
यथा
transcendental quality.
यथावत् रथो ग्रहणम् अवर्णकते गन्धास्यात् एवं योगारतां चेता आत्मनम् अविकारीयता.
As the chariot 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 chariot
chariot
chariot as the chariot of air carries an aroma from its source and immediately catches the sense of smell. Similarly, one who constantly engages in devotional service in Krishna consciousness can catch the Supreme Soul who is equally present everywhere.
अहं सर्वेषु भूतेषु भूतात्मावस्थितः सदा तं वज्ञाय मामृतः कुरुते अर्च विडम्बनम्.
I am a present in every living entity as the Supreme Soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple. That is simply imitation.
Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu santam atmanam ishwaram hitvancham bhajate mayudhyat भस्मानि एव जुहोति सहा.
One who worships the deity of Godhead in the temple, but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity heart, must be in ignorance and compared to one who offer
Oblations,
oblations into X as is
ashes.
SS. Sorry, ma'am. Thank you for correcting.
दिशुतः परकाये मामनीनो भिन्नादर्शिनः भूतेषु बद्धा वैरस्य नामना शान्तिं मृच्छति.
One who offers me respect but is envious of
The word is envious.
Sorry, yeah, is before came. Envious of the bodies of others, and therefore a separatist never
attains
peace of mind because of inim, inimical
inimical
inimical behavior toward other living entities.
अहम् उच्चावचैर्द्रव्यः क्रियायोपन्नातनघे नैवातुष्ये अर्चितो रचितम् भूताग्रमा मनेनिः.
My dear mother, even if we worship with proper rituals and
paraphernalia,
a person who ignorant of my presence in all living entities never please me by the worship of my deities in the temple.
आर्च्यदेव आर्च्यत तावत् ईश्वरं माम सर्वकर्मकृत यावन्न वेदा स्वहृदि सर्वभूतेषु अवस्थितम्.
Is performing his prescribed deity, one should worship the deity of Supreme Personality of Godhead until the realizes my
presence
presence in his own heart and in the hearts of other living entity as well.
आत्मनश्य च पराशापि याः करोति अन्तरोदरम् तस्य भिन्ना दृश्यो मृत्योर्विधाधे भयम् उल्बनम्.
As the
blazing fire,
as the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of the different
the word is differential.
differential outlook. Thank you, Mataji.
अथा मां सर्वभूतेषु भूतात्मनं कृतालयम् अर्हये दानमनाभ्यं मैत्रेय भिन्न चक्षुषा.
Therefore, through charitable gifts and attention as well as through friendly behavior, and by viewing all the alike, one should
Propitiate,
propis,
propitiate
propitiate me who abide in all creatures as their very self. Thank you, Mataji.
जीवः श्रेष्ठा हे अजीवनां ततः प्राणभृता शुभे ततः स चित्तः प्रवरः स ततस्येन्द्रियवृत्तयः.
Living entities are the superior to
inanimate
objects, O blessed Mother, and among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animal with developed developed consciousness are better than them, and better still are those who have developed sense prescription.
तत्रापि स्पर्शवेदिभ्यः प्रवरारसवेदिनः तेभ्यो गन्धविदः श्रेष्ठा अस्य ततः शब्दविदो वरः.
Among the living entities who have developed a sense, a prescription,
Mataji, the word is perception.
perception, it's not SC. Perception, those who have developed the sense of taste are better than those who have developed only the sense of touch. Better than them are those who have developed the sense of smell, and better still are those who have developed the sense of hearing.
रूप भेदा विदास तत्र तत्सशुभयायतो दतः तेषां भूपदा श्रेष्ठः चतुष्पदस्ततो द्विपतः.
Better than those living entities who can
Perceive,
perceive sound are those who can
distinguish
between one form and another. Better than them are those who have developed upper and lower sets of teeth, and better still are those who have many legs. Better than them are
quadrupeds,
sorry
quadrupeds,
quadrupeds, and better still are the human beings. Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji. I don't know who is.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू माताजी. थैंक यू एवरीवन. हरि बोल.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Whoever correct me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for your recitations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me chance.
Jai Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hemlata Mataji for reciting the Sanskrit, and also Jagruti Mataji. Thank you so much. I can see you're endeavoring so nicely in reciting, although English isn't your first language, but you just seen that devotion in yourself that you want to try your best in reciting the English translation. So Krishna's always going to be pleased with you. Thank you, Jagruti Devi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving me chance and give me an encouragement. Thank you.
And
Mataji.
also, thank you to Sriji Kishori Mataji as well. She's a very wonderful teacher as well. I'm sure she was an English teacher. Thank you. So anyway, my name is
Hare
Krishna Govind
Krishna.
Dasa. Sorry. My name is Krishna Govind Dasa. I'm going to be doing today's chat, 7th of June, 2026. Let me just share the screen first of all. And let me know if you can hear me and see the screen okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you and we can see the screen. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone. So today we're going to be reciting from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 3, the status quo, Chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service by Lord Kapila. And the verses that we're reading today is 16 and 17. So this is a continuation of description between Lord Kapila Dev and his mother, Devahuti. And there is a particular book that Srila Prabhupada has actually arranged with BBT. It's called The Teachings of Lord Kapila Dev. It's describing these particular verses that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, going on from different topics that Kapila Dev is actually explaining to his mother, Devahuti. She's completely, she's been in a situation where her own husband has actually left the ashram, and she's completely dependent on Kapila Dev. Kapila Dev is actually given all the different instructions from the particular point of the living entity, the qualities of the living entity, its relationship with the Supreme Lord, and then it goes on to the different stages of a yoga system. And in particularly now it's describing in detail about Bhakti Yoga. And now on this particular verse that we're going to be reading in a short while, it explains about something important within our Bhakti Yoga. It's like a culminating point in our spiritual journey, which is Archa Vigraha, which is deity worship. And it's very important. We may not have the qualifications, we may not have the right sort of mood or devotion, but certainly the whole essence of Bhakti Yoga is pure devotional service. And one of those processes is deity worship. Abhagyana Tamrandasya Garanjana Shalakaya Kakshurabhanatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Namaskritcham Naram Chaiva Narotanam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastashu Bhadreshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya. Nastashu Bhadreshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya. Sorry, I forgot the last two lines, just slipped my mind. Anyway, the verses, as you know, are the Srimad Bhagavatam 2 slokas. Okay, we'll be reading from Canto 3, Chapter 29, verse 16. Madhishnya Dashadaspasha Puja Stuti Abhivandane Bhuteshu Madbhavanaya Sattva Nasangame Nacha. Translation: the devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. Should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. So it's quite a long purport. I'm just going to break it up into smaller pieces. So I'm going to read the first two paragraphs. Temple worship is one of the duties of a devotee. It is especially recommended for neophytes, but those who are advanced should not refrain from temple worship. There is a distinction in the manner a neophyte and an advanced devotee appreciate the Lord's presence in the temple. A neophyte considers the Archa Vigraha, the statue of the Lord, to be different from the original personality of Godhead. He considers it a representation of the Supreme Lord in the form of a deity, but an advanced devotee accepts the deity in the temple as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not see any difference between the original form of the Lord and the statue, or Archa, form of the Lord, in the temple. This is a vision of a devotee whose devotional service is in the highest stage of bhava, or love of Godhead, whereas the neophyte's worship in the temple is a matter of routine duty. Temple deity worship is one of the functions of a devotee. He goes regularly to see the deity nicely decorated. With veneration and respect, it touches the lotus feet of the Lord and presents offerings of worship such as fruits, flowers, and prayers. At the same time, to advance in devotional service, a devotee should see other living entities as spiritual sparks, parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So I'm just going to stop there, and I'll talk a little bit about the first few paragraphs. Given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Just recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Please do you join in. Amagyana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Malatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rapakada Bhayam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sata Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Manchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanevya Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'd like to also offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Swami, and to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pishta Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swami Tinamane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pishta Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bhajaine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarine. Kindly seeking the blessings of my spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, and also the blessings of all the listeners, so that I may be able to speak on the wonderful glories and topics from the Srimad Bhagvatam. Please, whatever I say, may it be pleasing, truthful, and beneficial. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So just going back to this particular verse, the purport is very important. Temple worship is one of the duties of a devotee. So once again, in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the differences between a neophyte devotee and a senior devotee. A devotee who may not necessarily been in the movement for many, many years, could have been just for a short while, because of their devotion to the Supreme Lord, because of their piety from their previous life, they've already accumulated a level of devotion. That's why when you see certain devotees, when they've only joined for a few weeks, there's a level of piety within them. They're very, very dedicated, very completely surrendered, very focused in their sadhana, in their chanting, in their reading, in their service, and their attitude towards other devotees. Whereas many devotees who've been there for many, many years still do not fully understand the importance of deity worship, the importance of not just the deity worship, but the importance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in front of them in the form of the darshan that we take with our material eyes. We may not have spiritual vision, we may not be able to fully understand and comprehend how is it possible that the Supreme Lord could be dressed in such a way? How is he limited in such a way? That's the difference between personalism and impersonalism, Mayavadi. So the important thing is to understand the Supreme Lord in this deity form is non-different from the Supreme Lord, so long as he's worshipped with awe and reverence, so long as he's worshipped with the prayers and contingency of understanding that there is no difference between the Supreme Lord and the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Krishna. So when you offer something to Krishna, when you're doing arti, when you're offering prayers to Krishna, when you're remembering the Lord, you immediately identify the Supreme Lord, Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radha Nandaneshwara, Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, whatever personalities that you see around the world, they're worshipped with faith or reverence, and also in a mood of servitude, in a mood of gratitude, in a mood of completely surrendering in devotional service, giving everything that you have to offer to the Supreme Lord, is for the pleasure of your spiritual master, or rather, you're doing it on the pleasure of your spiritual master, because when you're doing the offering, the spiritual master passes that reward, passes that mood of devotion, passes that on to his spiritual master, eventually goes to Srimati Radharani. And Radharani, being so merciful, being so compassionate to her devotees, to the devotees of Krishna, sees, my dear Krishna, can you not see this devotee is offering with love and devotion? Is preparing, he's waking up very early in the morning, he's preparing all the different items for your breakfast, for your Raj Bhoga, for your evening offering, he's performing the paraphernalia, performing all the items, getting them ready, dressing you in such a way, performing Abhishek, bathing you, dressing you. Please, 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 give them your causeless mercy. Please, 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 allow them to fully appreciate that devotional service, that you are present in that particular form. And it is important that when we see the Supreme Lord, that we respect him in such a way. Of course, I don't want to start saying something negative, but sometimes that mood of servitude of seeing the Supreme Lord slowly withers away. We're all in awe and reverence when the curtains are open, the 7 o'clock darshan, Govindam prayers are sung. We see the majestic beauty of the Supreme Lord, see the way they look with their lotus eyes, their lotus smile, with their lotus dressing, the garlands, the beautiful jewelry, that the way they are decorated. We're always considering, my dear Lord, you look so magnanimous, you look so beautiful. May this beautiful form of yours always be manifested in my heart. Because when it's manifested in your heart, you're actually feeling connected to the Supreme Lord. Whenever you're going to work, you think of Krishna. Whenever you're eating, you think of Krishna. Let me offer this to you. Whether you're interacting with somebody at work or your friends, your devotee, your family, you see that personality as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That same Supreme Lord that you see on the altar, so beautifully dressed, beautifully decorated, worshipped in such a way that it cannot be comprehended or established in any other sort of system where people are whimsically just offering something for the benefit of some material gain, some perious, or please help me, I'm in a distressful situation, my dear Lord, please help me, I'm in a financial situation, my dear Lord, please help me, I'm going through some personal issues at work. Of course, those are always going to be there. The Supreme Lord doesn't neglect the prayers of the devotees. He does not neglect even the thoughts of those who may not be devotees of Krishna or devotees of God. Because the Supreme Lord is the Supreme Father. He's the most compassionate person in the world. He's the one who's actually given this material world that we can live in. But because we decided to live without enjoying with Krishna, then we're put in a situation where we're actually the cause of our own results, whether good or bad, due to previous life, due to karmic reactions, due to karmic intervention with one another as well, due to our negligence of our connection to the Supreme Lord. Not appreciating what we have also causes karmic reaction as well. So it's important to understand in one of the verses or purpose from Bhagavad Gita, this is from chapter 12, verse number 5. Just for time, I'm just going to read the translation and a bit of the purport. For those whose minds are attached to the manifested personal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. That's what I was mentioning earlier on. If you don't have a form of the Lord, then how do we understand what the Supreme Lord looks like? Within the certain traditions of other faiths, other religions, they may just see an energy as the Supreme Lord, some effulgence, some sort of transcendental manifestation, which does not have a form. And people may argue, well, why do the Hindus worship in idols? But that I will explain later on a little bit more. But importantly, to understand that the form of the Lord is no different from the Lord. You have the sun, you have the sun ray, or rather you have the sun globe, which is the personality, in this case Krishna. You have the sun ray, which is the energy that's permeating from the sun itself. You have the light, the energy, and all the different resources that the sun provides. So similarly, you have a personality, and that supreme personality is Bhagavan. is complete in so many different aspects. Because he is Bhagavan, the Absolute Truth, the Absolute Truth is recognized as Bhagavan, one who has unlimited qualities of 6, which are the most prominent ones: fame, beauty, opulence, renunciation, wisdom, knowledge, strength. Sorry, that was the last one. Strength, fame, beauty, opulence, renunciation, and wisdom. So one of the things that we have to remember within the Absolute Truth is also recognized as Paramatma. Paramatma is in the heart of every living entity, which we'll also discuss in a little while. It's also considered to be Brahman. Brahman is the effulgence, which I was mentioning earlier on. So Bhagavan and Brahman are the personalities, the personality himself, and the Brahman is the effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this particular verse, to make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So within the Bhagavad Gita, it mentions about the different processes of attaining liberation, of attaining pure devotional service. And Krishna starts off by describing about karma yoga, about fruitive activities, about surrendering one's work, one's fruitive duties, and offering it to Krishna himself. Then he goes into jnana yoga, understanding Krishna from the perspective of knowledge. Then he talks about yoga meditation, dhyana yoga, sangha yoga, different processes of devotional services in establishing one's connection to the Supreme Lord. But then ultimately, he says that the way to really understand me is through bhakti yoga, pure devotional service. Bhakti yoga is chanting, hearing, and remembering the Supreme Lord. But how do we chant and hear and remember the Supreme Lord if we don't know how he looks like? What does God look like? We're very fortunate within our scriptures, it gives you definitive explanation, descriptions how the Supreme Lord looks like. Even the Vaishnavacharyas describe the Supreme Lord. If you look at the beautiful prayers, the Manashtakam, it actually mentions about the different form of the Supreme Lord, even like tears coming from his eyes because he's been chased by Mother Yashoda. He's been tied around his belly by ropes to grind in wood and mortar, It's explaining so many wonderful things, his activities, his attributes in so many ways. Now, here, Srila Prabhupada actually further mentions in the purport that although these particular different yoga systems may be very troublesome, the path of Bhakti Yoga, the process of being in direct service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is easier and it's natural for the embodied soul. Then he goes on to talk about, therefore, the Bhakti Yoga accepts the deity of Krishna as worshipable because there are some bodily conception fixed in the mind which can thus be applied. Of course, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this form within the temple is not idol worship. So this is very important. It is not idol worship. There is evidence in the Vedic literature that the worship may be saguna or nirguna, the Supreme possessing or not possessing attributes. So worship of the deity, the temple is a guna worship. Okay? So when you actually worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is a guna worship, which is actually possessing different kind of attributes. And as we know, the Supreme Lord has unlimited attributes, of which 6 are the prominent attributes, which I mentioned earlier on. For the Lord is represented by material qualities. But the form of the Lord, though represented by material qualities such as stone, wood, or oil paint, is not actually material. That is the absolute nature of the Supreme Lord. So that gives you a little description about the Supreme Lord. I'm going to just share another quick verse to all of you. Once again, for time, I'll just read the translation. It says from Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 8. This is a discussion between Dhruva Maharaj and Narada Muni. He's just about to leave the forest after performing 6 months of tapasya to actually to gain a kingdom in one way, to get some sort of material benefit. But when he actually came to that self-realization stage, after 3 months of pure meditation and continuously meditating, then the Supreme Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him directly. So this translation is, it is possible to worship the form of the Lord made of physical elements such as earth, water, pulp, or the metal. The forest one can make a form of the no more than earth and water and worship him according to the above principles. Devotee who has full control over himself should be very sober and peaceful and must be satisfied simply with eating whatever fruits and vegetables are available in the forest. Actually, there was another particular verse I wanted to share. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is to say that the form of the Lord can be made in different elements, such as earth, water, pulp, wood, and metal. Could even be an canvas or drawing, a painting. And they're not just ordinary personalities, or they're actually carved in the form of the Lord. Just like we hear the beautiful stories of Lord Jagannath, how he's carved in the form of the Lord, but unfortunately, when King Indrayumna, he interrupted the actual carpenter performing the deity carving of the Supreme Lord, then it was half completed. But that is actually showing the form of the Lord in its ecstatic form as driven from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. But importantly, it's not just a form of the Lord, but particular mantras, recitations, yagyas, offerings are made to the Supreme Lord. And why is that? Because you're actually welcoming the Supreme Lord to reside in this form that is represented in the form of the Lord Himself. Similarly, just like when you see certain ceremonies at the temple, maybe a yagya, maybe a wedding ceremony, it could be an initiation ceremony. Normally, you see the coconut itself. The coconut itself may be just an item, like an edible item, a fruit or vegetable, however you like to call it. But still, it's actually considered to be pure internally because it's not been touched by any material elements outside, just like when you drink the water of the coconut, it tastes so refreshing. The coconut, the actual element inside as well is so pure by nature. But what is important that you're actually representing the actual coconut to represent the form of the Lord. You're inviting auspiciousness by reciting certain prayers, the Svastipanchakam prayers, the Shanti prayers as well, and inviting the Lord, please come and reside in this coconut. May it be the form of you, Lord Vishnu, while the ceremony is taking place, and may you be the witness of this ceremony as well. Similarly, when you worship the Supreme Lord in that particular form, the Archa Vigraha form, you're actually seeing the Supreme Lord, not just on a stone, not just a metal, not just a piece of paper or painting. Just like every day we have beautiful pictures printed on different magazines, by God magazines from the Srimad Bhagvatam. New sort of canvases are printed to replace the old canvases. Even in the earlier days when Jadurani was painting some of the paintings of Krishna from the late 60s to early 70s, although they may be very crude compared to the paintings of these days, but for the devotees in those days, in the 60s and 70s, that was their connection to the Supreme Lord. This is how Lord Krishna looks like. This is how Krishna looks when he's dancing with the gopis. This is Krishna Balaram with the cowboys playing in the forest. This is Krishna with Srimati Radharani. And there's such beautiful paintings, and they actually reflect on the beautiful pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Just like when you see the Supreme Lord on festival days when they're dressed in different ornaments, like when you see Ram Navami, Lord Ramachandra is dressed in armor, or Dasara is dressed in armor rather, to show that he's preparing for battle. When you see Janmashtami, you see the beautiful form of Krishna and Radharani dressed up in different ways. Sometimes you see different festivals like Gopastami, where Radharani is dressed up as a Gopa, as a coward boy as well. Different pastimes as well. If you've gone to different temples of Lord Nrsimhadev, we went to Simachalan, which is a temple in Germany last year. They have a 5-day festival. In one of the festival, every day they dress up in different arrangements. In one day, they dressed up like a forest atmosphere of different trees and branches, flowers, herbs, all surrounding the deity form of Lord Nrsimhadev. Another day, they had a form of Lord Nrsimhadev, all covered in paste of sandalwood all over his body. On another day, they had a floral outfit showing flowers decorated so beautifully in front of Lord Nrsimhadev. On another festival day, they had all these special mantra mulas around, decorated the deity form of Lord Nrsimhadev. So beautiful. You've probably seen those beautiful threaded garlands that been distributed when you go to Vrindavan and Mayapur. So they've hundreds and thousands of these decorated all around Lord Nrsimhadev, and then later on they're distributed as Maha. And another day, the final day, they're dressed up in Sandesh sweet coverings all around Lord Nrsimhadev, and it looks so beautiful, so magnificent as well, to share those beautiful pastimes. So also you can understand the deity is not an ordinary personality or just a stone. If you speak to any of the wonderful pujaris of any temple around the world, if you speak to the devotees in Bhaktivedanta Manor or Scotland, London, they'll tell you wonderful, beautiful pastimes of the Supreme Lord, how they've interacted with the pujaris as well, or also interacted with the devotees who pray to the Supreme Lord. I know a few myself, but due to time, I won't mention them right now. But a few months ago, some of you may have seen a beautiful kirtan that His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj was performing in Mayapur in front of the deities of Panchtattva. And what did you see? You actually see teardrops coming from Panchtattva. And you may think, how is that possible? Because it's a metal. The deity is made out of metals, certain elements, different kinds of metals. I think it's 9 different kinds of precious metals. But the tears were coming from the cheeks of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, different manifestations of the Panchtattva. This is when His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj was singing recently, just I think during Gopanim. And it's quite phenomenal because it's not like just sweat or some sort of dew drops falling because of the atmosphere. It's not humidity at all. You can physically see the tears rolling down from the lotus eyes of the Supreme Lord. And you hear beautiful pastimes of Lord Nrsimhadev if you speak to, I think it's Jananivas Prabhu, about beautiful pastimes of his interactions and devotees' interactions with Lord Chaitanya, with Lord Nrsimhadev in Mayapur. So you hear the beautiful pastimes said. Well, Kripamoy Prabhu once told us in a class as well. He had a Jewish friend who had come to Vrindavan for the first time. And if many of you have been to Vrindavan, you probably see this phenomena yourself. When you see the beautiful form of Radha Shyama, certain feelings of mood, ecstatic symptoms come about you. Naturally, certain tears come as well. But in my case, it's more sentiment or, worries and distress more than real love and devotion for the Supreme Lord. But anyway, Kripamoy Prabhu was saying this particular Jewish person, they had never seen the deity form of the Lord, but he happened to come on this particular yatra with Kripamoy Prabhu and the entourage of devotees. And all of a sudden, tears started flowing from his eyes. And I've known many other people who have come to the temple for the first time and they've been enamored by the beauty of the Lord. And it's not just because of the decorations, the flowers, the beautiful jewelry, the dress, colorful dress. When you see Supreme Lord eye to eye, you can actually see the Lord looking at you, looking at your heart. He knows the past of every living entities. He knows exactly what's happening in the present, and he knows exactly what's going to be happening in the future. So your future, you want to ask the Supreme Lord, my dear Lord, I don't have any qualifications, I don't have any devotion, I don't even have any faith. But what I do know, I do love you very dearly. Allow me to become a devotee. Allow this beautiful form to be manifested in my heart. So if I am going through any difficulties in my life, please be present before me. Please help me to make the right choices, make the right actions, make the right decisions in my life. We always get unnecessary situations where somebody constantly provokes you, constantly interrogates you, constantly badgers you for some reason, whether it's your children, family, somebody at work. There's certain things that we don't want to say to them, but sometimes it may come out unintentionally. But we want to pray to the Lord. We want to have patience, which we'll discuss about in a little while as well. So I'll just quickly carry on because we are really behind time. Okay, so what it is, just then here, at the same time, to advance in devotional service, a devotee should see other living entities as spiritual sparks, parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. So we shouldn't become selfish just because we become a pandit, just because we become very knowledgeable, just because we become a pujari, book distributor, good at cooking, good at this service, that service. we should never ever feel proud. We should always remain humble. We should always remain patient. We should always remember everything that we're doing, that ability, that intelligence comes from God. Just as the way the intelligence comes from God, remembrance of God, the forgetfulness will come as well. So we have to be very careful not to make up a rod. And therefore, we have to see every person, whether senior devotee, advanced devotee, junior devotee, non-devotee, we see the spirit soul within the heart of every living entity. And that comes to this particular verse from Bhagavad Gita 5.18. This is from Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned, gentle brahmana, cow, an elephant, dog, and a dog eater. So as a devotee, as we progress in our spiritual journey, although we want to become learned, we have to embrace and put this beautiful verse around our neck and wear it like an amulet. Trinadapi Sadechena, Taropi Savishtuna, Amanina Manadina, Kirtaniya Sadari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige. Such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord. But can we really do that? Can we remain as a humble blade of grass, people trampling on us, tearing us apart? Can we really be tolerant like a tree, withstanding all kinds of different elements of the weather, the rain, the sun, the wind, tornado, hurricanes, earthquakes, everything, people cutting the trees, the branches, taking away its fruits. It's completely, withering away. Nobody sort of thinks twice about it if it's in the middle of nowhere. Can we really, really be completely detached? Can we really be free from prestige? Can we really be ready to offer all respects to others, even those who are enemies, those who criticized us, those who envious of us, those who are, or we may be envious of them as well. Who knows? There may be many situations where we may think that we're the devotee and they're not, but they're just trying just as hard as we are. So we just got to learn how to love as brothers and sisters as much as possible, because ultimately when the Supreme Lord sees your devotion, then that way the Supreme Lord, through Srimati Radharani, allows us to come and become friends with Krishna. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I'm never lost, nor is ever lost to me. Yeah. So it just goes on further on, describing about the qualities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is of a good character. There's many qualities of a Vaishnava. There's about 64 qualities of a Vaishnava. Of course, there's beyond that many other qualities that we could always describe, but the 64 qualities so describe the personality, the mood, the nature of a devotee, always serving one another, always ready to be tolerant, very patient. And that patience is one of the most important things, because unless we have patience, we can never really understand fully our development, our love in Krishna. Sometimes, as I mentioned earlier on, some devotees advance more quickly than others. Somebody may be better cooks, better pujaris, better book distributors. But we should sort of try and think in an envious way, why is that person advancing more quickly? We should think, how can I become a better devotee? How can I help myself, advance myself? I think I recall reading somewhere about patience. Yeah. So patience is necessary for developing the confidence that Krishna will certainly accept me, because I am engaged in devotional service. One has only to execute service according to the rules and regulations to ensure success. So just like earlier on, I was mentioning about Jagriti Mataji, she was reciting the English. Now, I remember as a child, when somebody was unable to recite the English translation of the Bhagavad Gita, I was laughing. I won't deny it. I was laughing because I was brought up in England. I was able to speak, but this particular elderly person who was from India couldn't speak English, and I was laughing. And the devotee in the class sort of, reprimanded me, saying, "Don't laugh. This is serious." So we have to understand we may be qualified in a certain language that may be very second nature to us. For instance, if somebody told me to read in Gujarati, I wouldn't be able to do it. And Jagriti Mataji, she would be laughing because Her devotion in Krishna is that she's trying her best to read in English for her own purification, to please Srila Prabhupada, to please Guru Maharaj and Krishna and Radha, and also to please us. So we just have to remember, we just have to be tolerant, learn to appreciate everybody and their qualities, whether they're high or low, in whatever respect they have, they're endeavoring. In this endeavor, there's no loss or diminution, and a little advancement can protect us from the most dangerous type of fear. And as I mentioned, we have all sorts of fears in our life, everything from our wife, from our husband, from everything in nature. But the greatest fear is that untimely death. But when we do all this endeavoring, there's no loss at all. There's no diminution. Krishna sees our rewards in every way, just like we see the little sparrow was trying desperately so hard to swallow up the sea because it swallowed up her nest, her eggs, and during the tide, it took the nest away. The poor little sparrow was taking one beak at a time to swallow up the water. But when the great Garuda saw the cry of Vishnu, saw his little sister sparrows in that difficult predicament, what did it do? It reprimanded the sea, give back the eggs back to my tiny little sister. And of course, the mighty ocean was really afraid of Garuda's wrath, so it immediately returned the eggs of the swallow, of the little bird. So it just shows you that little advancement in our way, Krishna is always taking care of us. What I'll do, just for time, I don't have time to read the purport, but I'll just read the verse. Bhatam Balamanena Dina Manukampaya Maitraya Chavitam Tulyashu Yamena Yamena Cha. Translation: the pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor, make friendship with persons who are his equals, but all his activities should be executed under the regulation and with control of the senses. So just briefly, just 5 minutes, if I could spare a little bit of time, if you bear with me. So this is really important. This is one of the most important aspects in our spiritual journey. It's accepting a spiritual master. Now, many of devotees who come to the temple, they see the situation, spiritual masters, initiating, and they see certain defaults in them. They find some ways of defaming them. You see it and hear it on the internet all the time. Some way or another, they want to blaspheme them, and it's not very nice at all. We're not in that position to actually be critical towards any devotee. We have so many of our own faults in our own life, accumulated over thousands of lifetimes. Each personality is doing their best. But importantly, in the purport, it mentions that you should try your best to associate with those devotees who are helping you in your spiritual advancement. Just like His Holiness Bhakti Chor Maharaj, he mentions that why waste your time and energy in supporting and helping those who don't actually don't give you any benefit in your journey, but to utilize your time and energy will help you advance in your spiritual life. So there's so many wonderful devotees at the temple. You just find the good qualities in each of the devotees. There may be certain qualities that you may not really find sort of, something which is appropriate, but still better to find some good qualities in everybody. Everybody has some good qualities. Even I heard the story where Hiranyakashipu, when he was actually being terminated by Lord Nrsimhadev, when he was tearing him apart, in his mind he was thinking, Lord Nrsimhadev, you've come to kill me, you've torn me apart. I haven't given anything to offer to you. And what does Lord Nrsimhadev do? He takes out his appendix and wraps it around him like a garland. So even though you may be the most evil person, there may be some good positive thoughts in serving the Supreme Lord. So the Acharya, by nature, is a representative of the Supreme Lord. I recite this verse quite often. Shakshat Daridven Nasamasta Sastra Uksasata Bhavyate Vasadip, because as Acharya is an eternal confidential servitor of the Lord. So we should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme, to that Acharya. Yashapashada, Bhagavad Prashada, Yashapashada, Nalkatikopi. By the grace of the spiritual master, one attains the benediction of Krishna. Without the mercy of the spiritual master, one cannot make spiritual advancement. And then it talks about in this particular purport about the Sampradaya and the importance about the spiritual master, which I mentioned from chapter 4, verse 34. Davidi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya apadekshati te jnanam jnanina stattvadashina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. But you as an individual, if you have that desire to serve and wanting to worship the Supreme Lord, you must not follow anybody blindly. Be inquisitive, ask him questions, find out how his level of devotional practice is to the Supreme Lord. What is his objective? What is his devotional attitude like? What are his devotees, qualities of his devotees like his disciples? What is his mood in surrender? Is he after your money? Is he after you? Is he after some sort of recognition, some fame and glory? Or is he after that level of feeling compassionate for you because you are a fallen conditioned soul and he wants to do his best to help you get back to your journey to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The final two verses are from chapter 4, once again, Transcendental Knowledge. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vishvasate Yogam Prokta Vamaham Avyayam Vivashvamana Vipraha Manukshvake Prabhed. So, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of the yoga to the sun god, Vivashvan, and Vivashvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ishvaku. So it's not just any old sort of disciplic succession, but this transcendental knowledge, this eternal knowledge, this most confidential knowledge has come from the Supreme Lord himself. And who did he instruct? First to Vivashvan, the sun god, then to his son Manu, and then and consequently to Ikshvaku, and it was passed through this chain of disciplic succession. And finally, this last verse about the importance about deity worship from C.C. Madhya 1780. Mukam karoti vacha lam pangam langachite girim yakripatana vande paramanandama davam. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a form of Satchitananda Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge, and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him, turns the dumb into eloquent speakers, and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Lord. So the more we actually understand that Achavigraha form of the Supreme Lord is non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that makes a dumb person like me be able to speak, or will do eventually one day, and a lame person to climb over mountains. So thank you so much, everyone. Sorry I've gone slightly over time. Two beautiful verses from the Srimad Bhagvatam by Kapila Dev to Devahuti. Please kindly forgive me for any mistakes. Majikapatarusha, Kripasenamiracha, Patitanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaisavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Yeah, I'll pass it over to Shiji Kishore Mataji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Prabhuji.
carry on, Namrata Mataji.
Sure,
First of
Mataji.
all,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
thank
Yeah.
you very
I
much.
just
Hare
wanted to
Krishna.
announce about you, Mataji. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Govind Prabhu. My pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. So for today's bhajan, we have our dear Shriji Kishori Mataji, who'll be singing a beautiful bhajan called Atma Samparna Gele Abhiman, and I will be doing the English recitation. Prabhuji, do you know if KK Songs is working? Because I've been trying since morning and it's coming. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not loading for me today, Prabhuji.
Mataji, what was the song, please? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Atma Samparna Gele. So, yeah, oh, this is good, Prabhuji. It's working for you. It's not working for me today. I don't know why. Yeah, see, this keeps happening, Prabhuji. Whole day it's been happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have got the other one open, Prabhuji. I can share if you want.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I've got it open. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Mataji. You've been trying whole day, and yeah, it's I've taken the ISKCON version. But this is the bhajan, Mataji, right? Before I read the English translation, is it the right one, Mataji?
Yes, it is, Mataji.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Haribol, thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Surrendering to you lifted from me the burden of false pride. No longer will I try to secure my own well-being. O Lord, I am confident of your protection, for like one of your cows or calves, I am your treasured property. O Madhava, I see you leading your herds to pasture on the banks of the Yamuna. You call to them by gently playing your flute. By slaying giant demons such as Agha and Baka, you will always provide full protection, O Gokulakana. Fearless and confident of your protection, I will drink the water of the Yamuna. The Kalia serpent's venom poisoned the Yamuna's waters, yet that poison will not act. You will purify the Yamuna, and by such heroic deeds enhance our faith. You, who are called Govinda and Gopala, will surely protect me by swallowing the forest fire. When Indra, king of the gods, sends torrents of rain, you will counterattack his malice and protect us by lifting the mighty Govardhana hill. When the four-headed Brahma steals your cowherd boyfriends and calves, then too you will surely protect me, O Gokula Hari. Bhakti Vinoda is now the property of Gokula, your holy abode. O Keshava, kindly protect him with care. On to you, Mataji, when you're ready. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This evening, I'm going to sing a beautiful bhajan called Atma Samarpane Gela Abhiman. It's written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, in which he says that Krishna is the protector of all. I hope you enjoy this bhajan as much as I do. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Atma samarpane gela bhiman rakha vidhan tu adha na jani tu rakhu binat palya godana jana kuritu asat charo bimadava jamuna tire बंसी बजाओ तो दाखो भी धीरे आगा बाका मरा तो रखा विधान करो भी सदा तू गोकुल कानी राखा करो भी तू निश्चय जानी पाना करो बुन्हामा जमुना पानी कालिया दुखा करो विनाशा शोधो नदी जला बाधो बियासा पिया तो धावनाला राखो बिमोय गोपाल गोविंदा नाम तव होय सुरापति दुर्मति न सविचारी राखो बिवर सने गिरिवर धारी चातुरा नाना कोराबो जब चोरी राखा करो भी मुझे गोकुलहारी भाकति विनोद तुआ गोकुल धान राखो बिकेशवा कोरा तो जतान आत्मा समर्पणे गेला अभिमान नाही कुरु बुनिजा राख विधान तू आधान जानी तू राखो बिनात पल्य गोदाना जाना कोरी तू आसात हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Haribol Mataji, beautifully sang. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, glories to your service. Very nice, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you so much, Sri Kishore Mataji. So beautifully recited. And thank you, everyone, as well, for participating in today's chat. Hope you all have a lovely week next week as well. Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you very
everyone.
much. Hare Krishna.
Vatarubhyascha,
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva
sindhubhya
cha patitanam
Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.